Welcome to the channel, Dr. J.W. Morrison, theologist. Let's continue with This Is Your Life, Kimberly Cheadle.
Final walkthrough occurred on the 11th. Present at that meeting were the two commanders that were tasked with both staffing the security checkpoints on the interior of the secure perimeter, as well as the commander who was going to be in charge of the motorcade. But in addition to that, a PSP area commander was on that walkthrough, holding the rank of major.
Could you share a little bit of insight? I appreciate the timeline, but could you share a little bit, because I only have about a minute.
I apologize.
Yeah, the specific to the AGR building.
So on that walkthrough, our area commander asked specifically who was responsible for the AGR building, and we were told that Butler ESU was responsible for that area by several Secret Service agents on that walkthrough.
So the AGR building was under the authority of the Butler ESU. The Butler ESU is the Butler County Emergency Services Unit. It's an agency trained in SWAT tactics. There's two of these people left their post to search for Thomas Matthew Crooks on the ground about half an hour before the shooting. Now, this is really significant. This is really significant. If we come into the area, this is where I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there it is there. This is where they had the situation. So we're going to go down, we're going to zoom in. And I just want to show you all something. Now, okay, this should be good enough. Now, this is where President Trump was. That's where the sniper was, there. I can take that down. Sniper was here. The tactical defense team, well, the sniper was here. They reckon they couldn't see by way of the trees, but I'm not fully convinced about that. If you have a look, they can see. But there were two tactical ESU, Butler ESU people in this building here where these windows are. I'll bring you in a bit now. Where these windows were, there was two tactical snipers in there. Okay, now they've been told at some stage, as you'll hear, and I want to show you this so you know what they're talking about, that these people were drawn away from these windows because somebody had been seen acting suspiciously. Now, what I'm not sure about is there's another story in all this where they say a policeman was lifted up and to be confronted by the gunman who pointed his gun at him and fell. But I don't know what area of the building that was, because the gunman used a ladder. And he used the ladder, I'll show you. Let's come in there. He used the ladder, viewers, in there, behind all this. And he climbed up there on a ladder. If I come back out a bit for you, you can see a little bit better. But that's the building the sniper was on, and over the top there is the building where the two police snipers were in the building. I don't think you could lift somebody up to look on that roof. I really don't. That doesn't add up to me. Look, I might be a little bit fanatical, but I just can't. I couldn't lift somebody up to look over there. Could you? It would take a pretty strong person and two pretty tall people to look over that building. The gunman used a ladder to get up here and then onto that roof. And the only way, as far as I'm concerned, that you could look on that roof, if I zoom out a little bit for you, bear with me, I'll come back here. Nobody could get on somebody's shoulders, and especially on this side of it, it's taller, and see. So this raises questions for me. Why if you see a gunman on a roof and he's about to shoot at the president and you're a police officer, you don't just run away, do you? You don't just disappear and leave him there, do you? And the two officers that saw this person, this gunman, Crooks on the roof, were not the two officers that got taken away from the windows up here in this section. Now there were police officers all on the ground and that around the building. The public seemed to know more about all this than what the police did. They could tell the gunman. But my question is, and this is what you're going to see, why did these two people, and let me zoom back out. I'll go back to, I'll take that off and I'll go back to 3D and see if I can, 2D. Why, there's a good view there, viewers. Why did these two ESU people that were in here leave their post? Apparently they were not told to do that by the Secret Service, which raises alarms for me. You've got to stop and think for a minute. Why? I thought this a couple of weeks ago. A few of my videos YouTube take mine down, but hopefully they'll leave this one up. I was onto this a long time, on the night that it all happened. I figured all this out. It's very easy to figure out. Why did they leave? They had camera shots of the bike and the guy with the thingamajig, and I'm a little bit hesitant to put that on because, again, YouTube might take it down. I don't know why. I don't know what's wrong with YouTube. Or who the person is that does my videos, but whoever you are, you've got 1,000, maybe tens of thousands of videos to take down, Mr. or Mrs. whoever you are. And stop shadow banning my channel, please. I say that with respect. You might learn something if you actually stop and listen to what I'm saying. But these two people were drawn away, these snipers from this area, who had a direct view of the sniper. There's no way a police officer, let's just be reasonable, could be on someone's shoulders and look up over that roof. Let's go and have a look at this from here, another angle. Can you turn that around? Let's just see. Let's look over here. We'll go over there and look across. Maybe there. And I'll turn us around. And I'll try and come in. You couldn't get on somebody's shoulders and look on that roof there. You couldn't. They knew someone was up there, so what were they trying to do? Doesn't make sense. I'll take that off. And I'll zoom back out. So that's just a bit of an idea from, let's go on with this. Oh, hang on, sorry viewers. Let's go back to this.
Okay. All right. One last quick question. Real quick, I mean, I'll let you comment about it. The slope of the roof, would that have prevented a sniper from being up there?
No.
I don't believe so, sir.
Okay, thank you. I yield. I now recognize the ranking member.
Okay, viewers, I've listened to this 4.5 hour thing twice. Now it starts getting interesting.
Gentleman yields. I now recognize Mr. Bishop for 5 minutes of...
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Colonel Paris, are you aware whether any law enforcement officer or officers was or were posted in the second floor window of the AGR building?
I am aware, yes, sir.
And what is the answer?
To my knowledge, there were two posted there from Butler ESU.
And you said Butler ESU. What does the acronym ESU stand for?
Emergency Services Unit. It's a team that's comprised of multiple agencies that pool resources on a county or several county basis in order to enhance capabilities and training and be able to respond. Basically, a mutual aid agreement is my understanding of it.
Is it sort of like a SWAT team?
They are trained in SWAT tactics, to my knowledge.
So how many ESU officers were posted to that second floor window?
So I am aware that 2 were in the building, but again, I have not seen the Secret Service operations plan.
Now, viewers, something really important, viewers. One of the ECU snipers that were in that building's name was Greg. And I'll prove it to you later. And I think everybody's going to be looking for Greg and his friend to work out why they left their position.
Do you know, well, you say in the building. Were they in a window, where a window out onto the scene?
From briefings that I have been given, I was told they were in a window, yes, sir.
Did they remain on post?
I was told that at a certain point, they began searching along with other local officers in the immediacy after Crooks had been identified as suspicious by them.
By them?
My understanding is that they identified Crooks for not matriculating. He never, to my knowledge, Crooks never made it through the secure perimeter into the venue space itself. That he was identified by those members as suspicious, in part because of that. And then at some point, he produced the rangefinder, which heightened that suspicion.
So this is where, again, it gets complicated, because why did they leave their position? If they knew someone was suspicious and they had radio communications, wouldn't it have been their job to radio to the field operatives and say, guys, there's someone on the ground, position da-da-da-da is suspicious, can you investigate? Why would they leave their position? It's like being in, it's like when you're surfing, sometimes people it's like the lifeguards looking out for sharks. You can't just leave your post. You cannot leave your post. These 2 people decided to leave their post. But on what premise? There were enough people on the ground.
Representative Crane took a video on site yesterday. I'd like staff to put that up. It's just very short. It's a few seconds. They can do that.
Okay, this is the window, viewers, that we looked at the beginning of this video, showing you the view that the 2 ESU people had. Exactly the roof where the sniper was.
If I understand correctly, this is from the second-story window of the AGR building. You can see that window comes out from the sash and swings out to the right. There's an aerial photo right after Crooks was killed, where Crooks' body's on the roof, and that window was open. Was it from this vantage point that those ESU officers spotted Crooks?
I don't know that particular window, but my understanding is from a second-story window is where he was initially spotted.
Okay. So are you then saying that, to your knowledge, those ESU officers left the location where they could look out the window to go in search of this person?
That is my understanding.
So sometime before the time he was, between the time he was spotted on the ground and identified as someone suspicious until the shooting, they had left that post to go look for him. Is that what you're saying?
My understanding is yes, along with other municipal officers that responded to that area.
Now listen very carefully to this, viewers, because I've put hours into this and discerned what's going on here, and these 2 guys should never have left that position. They were assigned to that position. There was people on the ground, ESU staff and other protective staff on the ground. They should never have left their position. You think about it. They're covering the roof. They've left the position. The next thing, there's people running around everywhere saying the shooter's on the roof. They reckon somebody was lifted up to look on the roof and the sniper pointed his gun at them and then he got out of the way. You can't look at that roof without a ladder. Guys, honestly, it's not adding up. It's not adding up.
And that's based on interviews that we've conducted, and I want to be very clear that I don't want to establish a timeline minute by minute because we don't have that yet.
I think that's revelatory. I haven't heard that information. I did hear before that and there's a local news station. Well, there's a local news station report from July 17 that says that local law enforcement were told they couldn't be responsible for securing the AGR building during the Trump rally. And of course, you've testified a moment ago or earlier in this hearing that it was your understanding that the meeting with the Secret Service on the site was that ESU was going to handle the AGR building. Which is it? Do you know?
My understanding is what my initial answer was.
Okay.
So the ECU in a news interview have said that wasn't our responsibility, but it damn well was. So there's a lack of integrity. There's a crack in the armor there, and this man's onto it. He's saying this is a massive revelation because the point of the fact of the matter is, why did those two ESU people leave their position? They didn't need to.
You also, in response to Mr. McCall, you started to say something. You were saying that you did have integrated comms, and you were saying you were deferring to the ongoing investigation, but you have an understanding of the sequence, and then he cut you off and went on to another question. Do you know what you were about to say? Do you remember that?
Just that we had members of PSP inside of the Secret Service command post, and we were maintaining communication with our people.
And guess where the Secret Service command post was, viewers? I'll show you. Command Center, guess where it was? You will not believe this. You will not believe this in a million years. The command center was in this building. The building that the sniper was on. So how could there not have been a presence? I know that people were inside, but with everything that was going on, surely there was somebody that saw this guy with the ladder climb up on the roof. It just doesn't add up, viewers. It doesn't add up. That's where the command center was, the building where the sniper got on the roof. So viewers, this is where the rally was. Snipers, shooter, the killer. The building where the two guys, Greg and his mate, Sniper Greg, ESU person Greg, and his mate were supposed to be. This is where the sniper was. Guess where the command center was? You will not believe this in a million years. In the same building that the sniper was on. That's where the command center was.
Had ESU maintained position in that window overlooking the roof, isn't it true that they would have had a clean shot at Mr. Crooks as he was ascending the roof to his shooting position?
I'm not prepared to say that because I don't know the exact timeline of events.
But it's your understanding.
Well, I'm prepared to say that. We know that they weren't in position. There's no timeline. Had they have kept their position, yes, they would have seen him, clear as mustard, climbing onto the roof. But they weren't there.
Though that they were no longer in that room where they had been previously overlooking the building at the time he was ascending the roof. Is that correct?
Could you repeat that question?
The ESU officers were no longer in that room where they could look out the window and oversee the roof, as that video shows.
See, this man's struggling, the colonel's struggling a little bit with this question because this is the question. This is, in the whole investigation, the key question. Why weren't Sniper Greg or ESU Greg and his friend in their position at that time? Why weren't they there? And they're going to find out. And the colonel's struggling at this minute.
I believe they were actively searching along with additional municipal officers for Mr. Crooks.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My time's expired.
Gentlemen, yields on now.
Well, viewers, they must be blind. They must absolutely be blind because Crooks was around the perimeter of the building. It's as simple as that. So where were they looking? They took the video evidence of what was going on. And now I'm going to bring the clincher for you guys. If you've hung on this long, get ready for this.
So this is the guy that
yes, that they sent yes, Beaver County sniper scene and sent the pictures out. This is him.
Okay, all right,
Right, we're right there, obviously.
got it. So the bike in the back. Is he on that bike? We don't know. We don't know. So we're just treating that as suspicious device.
Oh, 1 second. I believe the sniper that seen these and sent a picture.
So we don't know. So this is the guy that
Yes, that they sent the yes. Beaver County sniper seen and sent the pictures out. This is him.
Okay. All right.
Rifle's right there, obviously.
Got it. So the bike in the back. Is he on that bike?
We don't know.
We don't know. So
I
we're
don't
just
know.
treating that as suspicious device.
Oh, 1 second. I believe the sniper that seen these and sent the pictures is right inside this building. Michelle, is Greg in there? All right, so,
Device.
oh, 1 second. I believe the sniper that seen these and sent the pictures is right inside this building. Michelle, is Greg in there? All right.
On that bike?
We don't know.
We don't know. So
I
we're
don't
just
know.
treating that as suspicious device.
Oh, 1 second. I believe the sniper that seen these and sent the pictures is right inside this building. Michelle, is Greg in there? All right.
Device.
Oh, 1 second. I believe the sniper that seen these and sent the pictures is right inside this building. Michelle, is Greg in there? All right. So if you go to that window that's open and yell for Greg, that's the sniper that sent the original pictures and seen him come from the bike and set the book back down and then lost sight of him.
So there you go. Who's Greg? Where's Greg? That is the key. And these people are saying, you know, there's the window. There's side windows. There's the front windows behind the body cam thing. Where's Greg? Greg took the photos of the guy with the bike and everything else. Greg has some answers, don't you think? And Kimberly Cheadle would have known all this. Kimberly Cheadle, this is your life.